Alright, well, let's make this quick. So, what is up, you denizens of the digital world? Because I'm just going to go with that from now on. I'm Jared, and you're watching the Shin Culture YouTube channel, which is a pit of nothing where I talk about whatever I want, which is mostly anime and manga related currently. And, on to that theme, I just got done watching the Yu Yu Hakusho live action on Netflix. And I'm just going to give you my thoughts about it. Overall, I had like very little expectations for the show to be good, and I wasn't really looking forward to it at all. I think going in, that probably overall helped my overall thoughts of it, because whenever you start at like zero, it's really easy to get above zero. That being said, though, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I am gonna say what I think was good and what I kind of think was bad, and then kind of give you my overall thoughts. What did I like about the show? I do really like the way the characters looked. They looked like they came out of the anime. Now, that being said, they looked like they came out of an anime or were cosplaying in the real world, and it can be very easy to pinpoint who they were. But at the same time, a lot of live action adaptations have this issue too. One Piece had it because we can't throw some wigs on random extras. That would just make it too weird. Yeah, I mean, I think they looked pretty accurate to the characters. Decent. Had no complaints really with the way they overall looked. In fact, I really liked the way Botan looked. I mean, I just really thought the actress that played Botan was really cute though. Um, but that's beside the point. That's other stuff. Also, I thought the fight choreography was pretty good overall, barring some CG ish stuff, which we'll get into in a little bit. But whenever they were just, punchy punchy and stuff like that, it was pretty cool. I mean, that's probably the only things I really liked about the show. I mean, I literally finished it maybe 30 minutes, an hour ago tops, and I'm just kind of doing this, but I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I don't plan on this being very long either. Now, what did I not like about this? Well, for one, the story was so condensed, and then they added other stuff. Now, I get whenever you're trying to adapt something, you're gonna change some stuff up. One Piece went at a very breakneck pace on a lot of the stuff. The show also did the very same thing, but some of the way it was condensed down, though, I mean, stuff didn't really get resolved, and then kind of got resolved altogether. I mean, you had Yusuke becoming a spirit detective, which they changed the way that happened, but that's kind of okay. That's not that big of a deal. Um, then you had the introduction of Hiei Kurama and the other guy who doesn't matter with the little like orbs and stuff and the like three treasures. Two of those get resolved that episode. The last one doesn't ever really get resolved until the very end. Um, you have the fight with the guy who doesn't matter. Kurama does his whole mother thing that gets resolved. There's kind of some fights with Hiei, kinda, but they're also moving on to Hiei looking for his sister. And then Tagoro and all of them show up, and you get into the Yukina stuff. While the one artifact EA still has, and they're still trying to get that. And then it kind of goes into a quick version of the Dark Tournament because you have Blue and the other guy who goes boom boom explosions. Um, they're all there. They go to the island which the Dark Tournament happened on, but the Dark Tournament is not happening. It's a whole other thing, but it's kind of like the gambling stuff that led into the Dark Tournament and all that before. And then there's also, or I'm totally blinking on his name, but you know who I'm talking about, the human. He's also building a device that will open the gate to the demon world. Now, I know that was all kind of part of it, but the way it's all tied together, it's all mishmashed, intertwined, and sped up. And that really is a detriment to the show per se because there's no time to rest. I mean, it's all go, 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 go. You don't really get any real development of the characters. Now, I think if you look at them at a very high level, they act like their characters are supposed to do, and they do the stuff you expect the characters to do. But you don't get any of the nuance or the development of said characters, really. Yusuke gets a little bit, I guess. Um, Also, for some reason, there's a giant pit in the city that they just kind of added. I know there was the gate and stuff in the anime, but it wasn't a giant pit in the middle of the city. Is that confusing enough? Good, because that's how it works. I mean, whatever. Now, I don't really like to say, oh, CG bad, show bad type stuff. And the CG wasn't all that terrible, but it was pretty glaring at some points that it was CG. Now, budget of the show is going to obviously affect that. And I can forgive wonky ish CG where you can, like, oh, it's obviously CG on the level of show that it was. It's not that big of a deal to me. I understand budgets are a thing. But some actually just the way the design of the characters, Elder Toguro looked like Elder Toguro, but it was also kind of off-putting with the way they just CG'd him in, and then he had like a non-CG face, and then he was doing all his other stuff. I guess maybe they were going for that to give him the creepy little vibe thing, but I almost don't think so, and I think it was just a happy accident, but that's kind of weird. And when Toguro gets all buff, non-CG face on a CG body, it's just a little odd looking and not the greatest overall, like, look, especially later on. I didn't really dig any of that. And with it only being 5 episodes, a lot of stuff was going to be condensed. I get that, again, like I said earlier. But I think if they would have not tried to get and hit all the things, because everybody hits their big thing. I mean, Hiei gets his, like, flame dragon fist thing, although it's only half of it and it's part of it. It's not the way it was done, but it's done kind of how it was done in the final fight, but kind of how it was done in the first fight. If that, again, it just kind of condensed a lot of the stuff down. I don't even know where I was trying to go. I got lost by even bringing that up. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, my overall thoughts. Overall, this is a very mid diehard Yu Hakusho fan or a really big anime fan or a Togashi fan of stuff that you'll be like, oh, this is horrible. How could they do that? Some of that I chalk up to adaptations or adaptations. They're never going to necessarily be 100% because, one, you got 5 episodes, basically 5 hours to tell a story that they went in, like, what, 80 episodes? 60, 80 episodes, something like that. I don't really remember. So a lot less time to cover a lot more ground. Now, personally, I wish they would have maybe just done the rando stuff and some of the Genkai training and just called it there, and then, like, hey, season 2, then we can do the Dark Tournament. But no, they had to hit all of it for probably the detriment of the show. Alright, well, that's basically all I really wanted to say about the show. It's not the greatest, not the worst. But before I leave, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on Twitter. Links in the description below. And
Congratulations.